How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here with always new games coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Here are just a few that I've picked up recently. Now come on, we gotta talk about Streets of Rage 4. What so many were thinking this was just gonna be some cash grab title, this turns out to be one of the most legit brawlers maybe ever? I don't know, man. It's really, really good, especially if you grew up with the Streets of Rage games. So you got 4 players to choose from the start. You can unlock other fighters later on. The fighters that are there just play wonderfully. You can do the hit combos, you can do the air combos where you can like launch them and, you know, get deeper combos on them. The enemies, just like brawlers back in the day, it's basically the same 5 or 6 people, but just with different colors or different health bars, stuff like that. You can pick up items, use them to your advantage. I loved the fact that you could throw your item and then catch it back in the air. That was so awesome, I love that. You do have your desperation moves you can pull off if you need. It does take away a little bit of life, but it's, you know, it's worth it in the end. And you even have these mega power moves that you can do that will, you know, take a bunch of damage. These are like your kind of special moves almost. Love the art style in this game. I beat the game in my first sitting on easy mode, but now I need to play through all the other modes so I can see what else I can unlock. There's even an online mode that you can play with others online. You can only do 2-player online, unfortunately, but still worth checking out. Now, I just started playing Arcade Spirits recently, and I'm already completely involved in the storyline of this game. It's a visual novel. There's a romantic side of this as well. So if you're into that side of things, and the fact that it takes place in the arcade, it's pretty sweet too, right? But as you talk to your guests and talk to the people who work at the arcade and, you know, visit the arcade, you can kind of win their favor by answering questions a certain way. You can be silly about it. You can be serious about it. You can be blunt about it. And by doing so, you can kind of, you know, win their trust or lose their trust or win their favor or lose their favor. It all depends on how you play and how you want to play. It's one of those games I see myself playing through multiple times just so I can see what other kind of endings you can get. Sometimes some of the answers are very flirtatious, so there's a romantic side of this game involved as well. But it's a fun game so far, and I'm digging the storyline, and interesting to see where this is going to end up. And also in Arcade Spirits, there is a documentary section that basically teaches you how to build your own main cabinet, which is so... I don't know, it's not really fourth wall, but it's just like, oh my god, they're actually going to talk about this in a video game? Crazy. So yeah, Arcade Spirits. If this is your kind of game, Arcade Spirits should be a priority for you. Now, Moving Out is a super fun game. Glad I grabbed this one. It's 4 players simultaneous, but you can also play it as a 1-player if you'd like. It's all couch co-op. Big shout out to this game for including a wheelchair as one of your options for your player. So in the game Moving Out, you play as a mover helping people move out by any means necessary. So you go in these houses and you have to grab these items and chuck them in the back of your truck. Literally chuck them if you can actually throw the items if you wish. It's a lot easier when you have more players, but on this single player playthrough, you can still get the job done. You'll get a better score if you're doing multiple players though. You'll probably do it a lot faster, I'm sure. So you just find all the items that you need to move out and move out as quickly as you can. Fun game on this one. It's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun playing this one later on. Love the fun-looking homes. I love the items. I mean, you actually find like little, you know, bootleg Nintendo systems or Atari systems sometimes in these homes. So it's just it's a fun game, and it's worth your playthrough if you'd like. Yeah, Moving Out. Check it out. I want to check out Gun Crazy, not just because it was cheap, but because it looked kind of like a Mega Man game. And yeah, it plays just like it's a run and gun style, you know, maybe not as Mega Man as I was hoping, but that's okay too, because this game just features running and gunning and big old boss battles and pixel art. And so far, so cool. I mean, you know, Gun Crazy, might check it out. Book of Demons just kind of looked interesting. Book of Demons looked like it was something that, you know, might be fun to look at for a second. And I'm glad I picked it up. I think I am. It plays as one of these kind of games with like cards and stuff. You know what I mean? So as you talk to your townsfolk, you move on to the dungeon that you need to go through, and then it becomes one of these style of games where you don't need to be next to your enemy to attack him. You just have to say, yeah, I'm going to attack this guy, but I'm also going to move around and pick up these treasure chests and you know, use this card over here, and you know, keep on moving and do what you need to do to get to where you need to go. In Book of Demons, if this is your style of game, it's available. I literally got this because it was called Arcade Story. You run an arcade and you have to build your own arcade and you have to invite people to play your arcade. I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you about this game, but I mean, so far it's a game that looks like this. Might be a chill title. Indivisible was a game I heard about last year, but when I saw it available for the Nintendo Switch, it was a surprise to me. I didn't know it was coming out for Switch, and because it was on sale, I was like, all right, I can do that. It's cool. It plays like now check this out. It's a 2D side-scrolling platformer, but then the fights are RPG style. So you have like your 4 buttons. I only have 3 characters right now in my party, but when you have a 4th, then that becomes that other button, and as soon as their meter hits, you have to hit that button to attack them, or you have to hit that same button to dodge their attacks. Love how this game looks, and happy it's available on the Nintendo Switch now. Now this is Mushroom Heroes, and I grabbed Mushroom Heroes because after reading the excerpt of what it was about, it sounded 100% like The Lost Vikings for the Super Nintendo. And it plays like The Lost Vikings for the Super Nintendo. You control 3 mushrooms individually, and each one has their own thing, where one of them can jump higher than the others, or float down. One of them can use a shield, or push blocks. The other one can use a weapon to clear a path of enemies, or blocks that are in the way. It's one of those games that you have to use teamwork, and it'll just play the game. I loved The Lost Vikings for the Super Nintendo, so when I heard about this, I was like, I gotta check this out. And it's kind of cute, so I'm glad I grabbed it. Now this game admittedly sounded cooler on paper than it actually plays, but I still want to show it off. This game's called OMG Police. It's still a fun game. It's not a bad game. You're on live television running from the police, and so you have to avoid the police. You're going to take damage along the way. You can get some health back by going through these zones here. It's just one of those games, how long can you last on this playthrough? You can also get cash to get upgrades and get new vehicles, including the White Bronco. Gotta get the White Bronco, right? If you're old school, you remember the White Bronco, right? OMG Police. It's one of those, again, it's not exactly the kind of game I was thinking it would be, but I'm not mad I picked it up or anything like that. It's still pretty fun. Kawaii Desu Ooo is the name of this game. It just looks kind of cutesy and love those pixel graphics. You just use 2 buttons, the L button and the R button, and you have to slash and attack these kind of fan zombie things that keep on coming up on your stage to release their souls. Or I didn't look too deep in the storyline of this game, but here's what the game looks like all the same. Multiple levels, multiple stages, multiple outfits. It's Kawaii Desu Ooo. Check it out now. Looked like a kid's version of Puzzle Bobble, although Puzzle Bobble is already kind of a kid's game. So I grabbed this more for my kids, and I found myself playing it more than they are. This game is probably a mobile app that they just ported to Switch. It's probably 100% straight up. It was on some mobile app. I didn't do any research. And they're just like, oh, you know what? We can put this on the Switch too. Yeah, all right. So they did. And now I have it on the Switch. It plays like Puzzle Bobble, but it's cutesy with animals. There's always way too many games coming out for the Nintendo Switch, so let me know what you're playing in the comments below. I thank you for watching. Always more Switch videos coming out soon, and make sure you check out some more must-play games for various consoles. I would appreciate it, and I appreciate your support and your subscribing, and consider being a Patreon. Thank you so much.